Kentucky rallies late, defeats Iowa in the Citrus Bowl, wins at 20-17 to finish off a 10-3 season. That's 2 10-win campaigns for Mark Stoops and company in 4 years. After 2 10-win seasons in 70, Kevin?
Right, yeah, 1950 under Bear Bryant, where they won the Sugar Bowl, beat Oklahoma, and were later, by Joe Sagarin, crowned the national champions. And then 1977, the 10-1 season under Fran Kersey, where they would have played probably in the Sugar Bowl, but were on probation, got put on probation for, recruiting and other violations. So, we didn't, UK fans didn't really get to enjoy, what could have, that's one of the great what could have beens with Kentucky football. But yes, 1950, 1977, and then now twice in the last 4 years, with 10 wins playing in the SEC is pretty good. That's, you can pound your chest a little bit off of that. So,
well, Mark Stoops has taken this program from just where it's awful every year, 2, 3, 4 wins, to a place where, okay, if it's going to cycle up, there could be a good season and then maybe a step back and then a better season, then a step back. And now he's gotten into a place where he keeps increasing just the stockpile of talent. And now we've gotten to a place where, sure, it's important if Wan'Dale Robinson comes back. It's important if all these players decide to come back or not, of course. But there's not a situation where Kentucky football is going to drop out of the sky and derail, where there's enough talent that this is a winning football program year to year to year, and it just keeps getting better and better, and it's now sustainable.
Right. No, you're exactly right. And to your point, you think about where the program was when he took over, you going back, before, like with Rich Brooks, in the 2000s, his first 2 or 3 years were off, not good. And then he finally got, Kentucky to bowl games. And then, after he left, Joker Phillips kept it going for like 1 year, but then it just, plummeted to that 2012 game that a lot of people always talk about, where Kentucky was just totally embarrassed by Vanderbilt. It was like 40-0 or something. There was maybe 10,000 people in the stands. And, and Mitch Barnhart's UK AD was, that was the day he's like, okay, well, you have to make a change. And, and then, the thing about it is, I always like to throw this quote in. Stoops is now, I think it's 59-53 here at Kentucky. 2 games into his 4th season, he was 12-26. So since then, he's gone 47-27 over the last, 5 years, plus 2 10-win seasons, 2 winning records, in the SEC, where Kentucky hadn't had a winning record in the SEC since 1977. So as you said, it's just, they're right there. Obviously Georgia is number 1, but, Kentucky is right there now as that number 2 team in the SEC East. And I know Florida fans, Tennessee fans, maybe even South Carolina fans, they're kind of loading up through the transfer portal. I expect them to be really good next year. But Kentucky's right there, I think. And it's, as a long time, as we like to call ourselves, long-suffering Kentucky football fans, this last 5 or 6 years has just been an amazing ride, and we just can't wait to see where it goes in the future.
It's been a long time since Mark Stoops played at Iowa. We're talking back to the late 80s. Then he was a graduate assistant, so that's been a long time. But still, he is. It was obvious from some of his comments after the game that he has a connection to the program, and he still has a heart for the program and so forth. So, did he make any comments leading into the game, news conferences, about just that it was maybe a bit odd or strange, or just a bit different of a matchup because of his background and his alma mater?
Yeah, he did. He didn't want to dwell too much on it, because that's, myself included, that's all literally anyone wanted to talk about was the matchup of Stoops against his alma mater, because we try every year, with bowl projections. They all, there's so many SEC Big Ten matchups. You always try to match them up. But he said it was a little weird. It was, but kind of cool. But he definitely had some mixed emotions going back, playing against his alma mater, and of course, his brothers. His brothers all played at Iowa as well, all got their coaching start there. So, and there had been talk that, years past, that if the Iowa job came up, that might be the one, that might be the one that he may, if he ever left Kentucky, that might be the one that he would go for. But, we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, he did. He said, he didn't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about it, but he said, yeah, it's kind of cool playing against my alma mater. And, I see, he got emotional, a little emotional thinking about his time there and with some of the news conferences. But yeah, but at the end of the day, he's like, we have a job to do and, we got to do that job. But yeah, but no, he did. He did talk about it some in the days leading up to the game.